Hey folks, how you doing? I'm not out here to be a victim of the gig economy. I'm not out here to be the best Doordash driver on YouTube. I don't tell people how to do gig work, and I do not pretend to tell them how to make more money. Now, if you haven't seen that last video I did, it's been over a month ago. Doordash, a fake reality. Thanks to the content creators that shared it, and there were several that after that figured out their per hour average, their dash time average. So good for them. And there's one guy that does content. He's all Tom. He does all his dash time per hour average. He knows his market cap. So there are people doing that. And once you learn these things, you can master your market. So we talk about learning our market. Well, they talk about it. These content creators, the gurus, talk about it. Learning your market. Which merchants are fast? Which are slow? Where do the highest tips tend to come from? How to maneuver your market? When to unassign? All these kind of things. On and on and on. So you got learning your market and you got mastering your market. Mastering your market. Knowing your per hour dash time average, your rolling average, or your cap, and knowing what you're making per mile. So, how many times on YouTube, now, you never get the full story when you watch gig content, in most cases. Now, how many times have we seen online, you got a $10 offer. It's going 5 miles. I'm going to take that offer. It's $2 a mile. Well, it's $2 a mile while active. It's not $2 a mile overall. So you take that order. It's $10 going 5 miles straight out of the commercial zone. It comes 5 miles back. So it's actually $1 a mile. So you never truly get the full story. So I'm not hard on doing this, but I'm going to do it. Now, we have 2025 earnings on Doordash. I had little earnings on other apps. But there's one thing I do agree with that some of these guys say, that you should have other income streams out of the gig economy. Now, if you don't, then line them up and sign up for as many apps as you can. Hopefully, there's a point in time where gig workers will be fully protected, and we don't have to worry about these unfair deactivations. So, 2025 earnings on Doordash. Well, some say, well, why aren't you multi-apping? Because I figured out the game and my market. I have figured out my market. And what it tells me is that all the stuff I see out here on YouTube is unrelatable and it's garbage to me. And what all these guys are fighting for, all these conflicts, feuds, all that stuff, it's laughable. It has nothing to do with me and it's not relatable to me. It's foolishness, total foolishness and embarrassment what I see out here from these top dog content creators. It's embarrassing. 2025 earnings, $49,441 and 15 cents. Online miles, while online, log on to log off. Just like dash time, log on, log off. Don't play active hours, don't play active miles. So you got 49,441.15 divided by 37,667.82. $1.31 per mile it averaged while online in 2025. And some of them weeks were way more $1.50 per mile, $1.60. But it all averaged out as time went on. So there you have 2025, $1.31 per mile while online. Now I don't know what the active is because I don't do active, but it's higher. So here we have the last few weeks, and this goes on and on. I just wanted to show you how close the similarities are, and just like the Doordash dash time, $22 per hour average, which is higher than some markets, and it may be less than some, but fuel prices here on the West Coast are just insane. Went up 30-40 cents in 3 weeks. It was down to right at $2.99 a gallon, and it's up to $3.40 it's up to $3.40 now. Now talk about being ripped off. So you got the last few weeks. Last week, 1,114. You have 707 miles. 707.9. I made $1.57 per mile last week. The previous week, 1,012.67. 843 miles. 0.9. That week, $1.19 per mile. A previous week to that, 1,061.49. 798 miles. 0.6. $1.32 per mile. See the fluctuation? High, low, up. So we add all these up. These past 3 weeks, 3,188.79. Total miles these past 3 weeks, 2,350.4. Divide these, $1.35 per mile. Let's do these two right here. Add these two up. These two. It's 2,127. Add these miles up right here. 1,551.8. So the sum of this and that. So you divide those. 2,127.3 divided by 1,551.8. $1.37 per mile with these two. So this right here, the end of every week, how much I made per mile. Add these up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.08 divided by 1, 2, 3. $1.36 per mile. So at the end of 2025, $1.31 per mile while online the whole year. And look at the first few weeks. It's showing a trend of in the $1.30s. $1.35, $1.36, and the one in the middle was $1.37. We will see how it turns out in 2026. It will be interesting to see. But just like that range of $22 an hour dash time average, you have this range of how much you're making per mile while online in the $1.30s. So how many times have you sat at a parking lot? You just finished an order, you're sitting at a parking lot. All right, you're sitting at a parking lot, 5, 10, 15 minutes, you're waiting, no order. You take off a quarter mile, a half mile, boom, you get hit. So in my opinion, you got two things going on. You got an online per hour average, and you have an online per mile average. So one of those two hits you when you move. Sometimes you'll sit at a commercial zone, and you'll get hit right away. Sometimes you have to take off and drive, and then you get hit. That's showing me a per mile online average. So I could get into, there's a lot of things I could say. This is mastering your market. And what this tells me is there's no relatability for the gig content I see out here. And to me, these feuds these people having or having out here, it's for nothing. This shows me everything. Everything that I see out here, it's just not relatable to me. This shows a lot of manipulation here. The $22 an hour dash time average, the $1.30 per mile online average. So it definitely shows me a lot. Oh, one last thing I want to say. How many times out here have I heard, don't be manipulated by the gig apps. Don't be manipulated. Oh, manipulate back. All right. You decline 5, 10, 15 orders. All right. You're not being manipulated. You're choosing what you want, you think is profitable, but your online per hour dash time average still comes out the same. Your average of miles, how much per mile, your average of that while online comes out the same. So what are you? Are you the manipulator or the manipulated?